Pretty hard.
Good work! Did you borrow that? Maintain his head next time?
You have to say it in comprehensive language. Right.
Am I not photogenius?
Yeah, you're photogenic. Exactly. Sounds like when you turn on the hard drive.
Class?
You want me to video class?
Well, you could.
I'm afraid I'll interrupt them.
What?
I'm afraid I might interrupt them. You know, I don't want to disrupt anything.
No, you could.
Your name is...
Jerry Levy.
And you are...
I'm a sociology teacher here.
How long have you been here?
Since 1975.
75. What has changed since 1975?
Well, I think the school has gotten larger. I think there's a lot more staff. There's a lot more bureaucracy imposed by the federal government. There's a lot more bureaucracy as a result of having to compete with other schools for funds and students and grants, and there's a lot more women teachers. Sure, that definitely comes to...
Has the bureaucracy gotten bad, in a sense?
Well, I don't think it's bad.
I think it's probably, unfortunately, I think it's necessary. Because if the faculty were to have to comply with all the bureaucratic requirements from the federal and state government credit agencies that come down on the school, they wouldn't have any time to teach. And if the school refuses to comply with the bureaucratic requirements of the federal government, we wouldn't be able to exist in terms of, meeting requirements for the handicapped, safety requirements, all of these things, Pell Grants, any other student aid that we get, we're directly tied into federal agencies.
You think those federal agencies have been helping Marlboro enough?
Well, no. Obviously, if the federal agencies cared about education in any real way, that the students wouldn't be going into debt $20,000, $30,000, $35,000 to get their education, some of them.
I take it that happens a lot in Marlboro. Many students get in debt.
Oh, it's a very serious issue, because what it does is they go into debt, and then they're tied into the system so completely that their options to explore, to get maybe lower paying jobs that they might want to have, to really decide what they wanted to do is short-circuited by the necessity that they pay back these loans. And if they want to go into graduate school, unless they get the big fellowships, they even go into greater debt. So by the time they're through with graduate school, they're going to be $100,000 in debt, which makes them, which even circumvents more their potential independence, which is what we need if people are going to change the society.
So loans should be improved.
Well, I think that in every other way, young people are not considered to be adults. They're defined as irresponsible, so why should they have to go into debt? I mean, that is one of the major categories of adulthood in this society. Don't you think?
Yeah, it is. That is a category of society, unfortunately. So is the school running on debt, as I've heard many times before?
Well, every school runs on debt. Every school has a deficit that has to be made up by interest off the endowment or other giving or other grants. And Marlboro that's a real problem. That's generally recognized as such.
How do you think it should be remedied?
I think the only remedy is to raise more money, and that's what we're trying to do.
How much money have you raised so far?
I'm not sure, but recently got a $750,000 million donation from this woman who was very interested in the college. And we've raised some other money. I don't know exactly how much.
The sociology of the school itself. Students don't like themselves.
The sincere different, well, I think they are different from everywhere else. I think they're generally more serious. But I think that many of them have had a rhyme, and they're sincere different. Well, I think they are different from everywhere else. I think they're generally more serious. But I think that many of them have had a rhyme, and there are dimensions of their character that is self-destructive. But that's true of everyone, isn't it? And I think at least they have a place where they can go through that struggle, where there are at least opportunities to deal with that extent and to choose other options.
If there was one thing you'd change about Marlboro College, what would you change?
Wow. That's a hard one. One thing. Without lowering standards and without compromising our mission to do serious intellectual, artistic, and scientific work, I would search for a way to try and lessen what I believe to be the tremendous anxiety and self-doubt that students go through. And I don't exactly know how to do that, because I think part of that anxiety and self-doubt is created by the very, very high expectations that the school confronts.
Writing requirement in general also?
The writing requirement and the plan, and just the general, the charge that we are engaged in serious education. Serious education is often painful. I would like to make it less so. I don't exactly know how to do that.
All right, well, that's about this bookstore. And your major is? How many years have you changed about Marlboro College? What would you change?
I get some cooler looking people to go here.
Okay, because I just touched upon this with my last interview. I should ask this. What do you think about the functions to be placed in here?
I'm not aware of any.
Okay, the student loans, the fact that most students might be in debt like about $100,000 by the time most.
I'm a well-fed fuck. I don't have to deal with it. White, upper middle class.
As you can see, he's fully qualified.
My name is Andrew.
I love this. It's awesome. It's very supportive.
Okay, supportive? In what way?
Both emotionally as well as academically.
Emotionally well as academically. What are the problems with the college?
It's too expensive. Not enough diversity.
If there was one thing you would change about the college, what would you change?
Have more cool-looking people come here. And I just say earlier to go.
She's trying to find a cool-looking person right now. Better food.
More vegan type food too for me.
The climate.
The climate. All right, thank you.